Welcome back everyone, this is Dan from wargames. I'm going to give you a bit of a workbench update, a bit of finished stuff, some work in progress, a bit of a mail call as well, see what I've got coming in the door. Alright, first thing we're going to have a look at is going to be some of the finished work I've done. So I did I'm doing my wargames room in 80 days. See how many miniatures and models I can get painted in 80 days. What I did is I started with the miniature for our how to paint tropical Fallschirmjäger. Then I had to have a break because of work, and I'm back. So I've done a whole bunch more inventory. First things first, there are these Waffen SS Pioneers by Offensive Miniatures, and they are lovely miniatures, up to Offensive's usual standards. Zoom in on a couple so we can check them out. They are really nice. This pair here, cut in the wire, needs a couple of weapons added to the base. Now I didn't buy the actual pack of Offensive. Dave and Jackie were lovely enough when they were shipping me some other stuff to work on for our book to enclose these. So I couldn't tell you if you get some loose weapons with them, but I have got some that I'll just throw on the base for those two guys kneeling down there. So this one here is possibly one of my favourite miniatures I've painted this year. So if I just get my fingers underneath here so we can check him out a bit better. There we go. I'm throwing that satchel charge. What a dynamic pose. I loved the SMG. Look at the undercuts and the casting and the sculpting went in there. And the face is fantastic too. I zoom in here. Of course, now I've decided to do some videoing. The sun's kindly come out and throwing shadows all over the place. These are really nice. This is one of my favourite miniatures this year. And this guy here is preparing another satchel charge. So some others I've been working on have been some West Wind Productions Fallschirmjäger. And these are a couple of packs, or a pack I think, of Fallschirmjäger with Panzerfausts. And this one here is one of my other favourite miniatures so far this year. This guy pushing his wheelbarrow around, and if I just put this down here so that I can get a better shot of the wheelbarrow, you can see he's got a Panzerfaust in there. Lovely sculpt. What a fantastic sculpt. I'll just give you a better look of that. There we go. Now the Panzerfaust and these guys are quite small and stubby, it has to be said, but the remainder of the models fit 28mm heroic scale really well, and that is probably a little bit different to the older Westwind Productions miniatures, of which I've got some at the back here, and I'll go through. So these ones here probably more like 25mm. What I've done is I've built up the base. Now these are for my last levy Berlin armies. So nice rubbly bases has helped me hide the lack of height in them. Small stature. This guy here had a little bit of an issue with his face. I do like this guy here though. It's a nice pose. Captured weapons. The Panzerfaust. Yeah. So there are some unique sculpts in there, quite characterful, but definitely not the same scale as these later miniatures, which are the ranges that the Fallschirmjäger come from. So there we go, just a little bit about, I suppose, Westwind Productions and the scales. At the back here as well, I have got one lone guy. I noticed he fell in with the Westwind miniatures, but that's actually an Offensive Miniatures last levy model, and a very nice one it is too. I just happened to pick him up with the remainder of the Westwind ones. I really did like this guy though, smoking his pipe There's a scarf, changing a bit of a head over top of his head. Yeah, that was a nice model. So there we go. That's what I've actually achieved so far going around my room in 80 days. What I have got though is I've got some more work in progress. And if I just skip over here, excuse all the movement to the camera, because I'm out here trying to get some work done. Meanwhile, my faithful assistant is out there being crazy with his blankets, but he was keeping me company, hence I do now have some battle damage to my priest for Sicily, which I've sort of repaired, apart from I've got to put the cupola back on there now after having a near-death experience inside my dog Jaeger's mouth. I've got the crew back there which I need to paint, and you can see working on some D&D miniatures as well, which were on my list to go around the room in 80 days. This one here is pretty much finished. So that's my partner's miniature, Joyra. There we go, we've got our group wizard letting off a magic missile of some sort, and our gnomish thief. So I'll come back and I'll show you those better when they have been painted. But there we go, that's what else is on the painting table as well, as a whole bunch of British airborne crew for Jeeps. So, mail call, what has arrived? Well, first things first, I have got, okay, well, I've just managed to open this one-handed, or will I? From a guy called Dylan, that I quite often get a bunch of stuff off Trade Me, which is like our Craigslist or Gumtree here in New Zealand. I've got a bunch of British Airborne stuff. Why would you need British Airborne stuff, I hear you say? Well, if I put this down here and then bring the stuff over to the camera instead of vice versa. So first things first, I got a bunch of the crew made up as British Airborne for some Rubicon Jeeps, of which I have got a bunch of them in here. And if I just cut these open, I should find that they are in really good nick, because Dylan's always really good at giving great explanations as to what condition things are in and stuff like that. His models always assemble really well, so if I get something off him, I know it's in good shape. So he's assembled these as British Airborne Jeeps. What I'll probably do is I'll probably take the tyre off the back, place it at the front, remove these twin MG mounts here, the other wheels here, no problems with that, and yep, get them painted up, fit them in as a bunch of recce Jeeps. So I've got two recce Jeeps in there, and a Jeep done as a tow. This is a 6-pounder, I'm not going to get that out. But also, along with that stuff, I've got, and I'm just taking the cover off it here out of sight. So I've got a bunch of miniatures off them too. Look at these, look how nicely painted they are. So yeah, he's done a really good job of that. It's not going to take me much to make these look like the rest of my guys. I'm really nicely painted. I have got good appreciation at the moment though, because they've got I guess sort of more European sort of shrubbery and stuff like that on their base, and that's what I want to go with an army that I'm making up now, hence the recce Jeeps and all the crew that you've seen a minute ago on the painting table. So I want to make up a 6th Airborne Division, or Western Europe, but in this case 6th Airborne Division, because I intend to take to Moab, the mother of all battles, con in Sydney on the first couple of days of October of this year. I want to take a bunch of these guys there, put them with my recce jeeps and stuff, and I'm going to make a 6th Airborne recce troop from Normandy. So there you go. Nice little score off Dylan. Thank you very much, mate. I'm looking forward to doing the couple of little things that I need to do to these that will make them fit into the rest of my guys, the rest of my force. However, slightly different basing. As you know, I normally do urban, but the fact these have got shrubbery and stuff alone, it's not a problem as well, because my greater force ideals are to have like a force suitable for Arnhem. That's what I've always aspired to fight a major battle of Arnhem with the forces that I've got. So anything I do, yeah, I've got a bunch of urban rubble on now. I've got these ones here for any the guys out in fields and around houses and stuff like that that haven't got rubble all over them. So good score. As well as that, something else happened. So I have previously bought this here, SDKZ10, the half track. So that is the like 1 ton half track, a half track, or quarter track perhaps. Haha. Try the veal, I'm here all week. So Rubicon kindly, as I won the Facebook header photograph with a photograph that my fantastic photographer brother Rex took, that's Valhalla Games Rex, the other half of Valhalla Games. So he took a photo of my my Sherman 3s for Sicily with the sand and blue-black sort of jelly bean sort of camouflage on them. And yeah, Rubicon used that as their header for their Facebook page. So in return they asked me what model I wanted, and this is it. Some people could say that I'm crazy. Why didn't I order something more expensive like a King Tiger or something like that? But I wanted this model specifically so I could add it to SDKZ10 half track. That's it, guys. Thanks very much for joining me, and join us again soon for another update. See you soon.